Hi, my name is Megan Lay. I'm an actress and I'm a martial artist. The first thing that got me into martial arts was a movie that I worked on, actually my first movie. It required I learn wushu, and I'd never done any martial arts before. I had a fencing background and I had a dance background, but I'd never formally trained in martial arts. So after that film, I was hooked, and I decided to formally start training Taekwondo with Master Simon Rhee. My earliest memory of martial arts was not that long ago because I came into martial arts fairly late. But I remember walking into the studio on my first day in my clean, white, crisp uniform with my white belt and being scared to death because I didn't know anything, I didn't know anybody, and I didn't know what to expect. And I was met with the most warmest welcome, the most supportive people, and I decided to stay. I knew martial arts was going to become a part of my profession when I started to really own my martial arts practice, because it just becomes a part of you, it becomes a part of your essence, your embodiment, and that affects your casting. Your casting is the roles that you play in your acting. And so I started going out for roles that required fighting, tougher women. And, I loved doing it. It became a new art form, a new obsession. So they had to be married at that point. I didn't have any martial artist influences growing up because I came into it later. But it was funny because I had a dance teacher who introduced the teachings and concepts of Bruce Lee to me. And I was really taken by watching him speak, watching him move, and that actually informed my dance life. And it wasn't until, years later, when now I'm training in martial arts, that I realized that Bruce Lee had been a huge part of my perspective as an artist and as a mover. For me, a typical training day consists of two things. Some form of conditioning my body, so strength training or plyometrics training or flexibility, paired with a martial arts skill, so working on forms, working on kicks, handwork, footwork, bag work, and then ice at night, and stretching. Always, always, always stretching. I think the most misunderstood thing about martial arts is that it's not all about flashiness, big tricks, breaking bricks. At least for me, it's a lot about basics, foundational basics, talking about concepts and philosophies and biomechanics, how our body moves, understanding what it is that we're doing. And then sure, yeah, working on challenging new tricks and combinations is a lot of fun and it looks good on film. But what really gets me is some of those more basic concepts. My advice for somebody starting off would be go slow and own that. Do not be afraid to be a white belt. Ask questions, ask the right questions. Open your mind to take advice from everybody and decide what works for you. Being a white belt it's a good place to be.